Hello, my name is Mary,
And my name is Christine.
and we are sisters, and together we produce the podcast Dawson Cries. If you're just joining us on this journey this week, we are two sisters who had never seen Dawson's Creek before. All we knew of it was the Dawson Cry meme. And we found ourselves talking on the phone as we are wont to do and feeling that our conversations were getting a little too heavy. And we thought, what's that sad boy from the 90s crying about? And we decided to do some investigative journalism on that subject. And here we are. We're on season 2, episode 3. Dawson hasn't cried yet, but we can't wait until the day that it happens. So it seems like it's going to happen soon because things are really getting emotional. Christine, you want to kick us off?
I would love to kick us off, Mary. And yes, we are waiting with bated breath for the Dawson cry moment. But the
Wah.
suspense is really exciting. um, so yeah, this is season 2, episode 3, called Alternative Lifestyles. And
Ooh.
we get a little flavor of that in this episode, which is really fun. And this episode is the first one that I think so far, anyway, that is opened with a scene that's not immediately Dawson's bedroom. So that was kind of exciting. We see, instead of his bedroom, we're outside of the Leary household. The ladder that's always perpetually propped up against their house is coming down.
Mm.
Mitch Mitch is not ready for Dawson, his son, to be a sexual being. And he's like, I'm going to be a father and stand in the way of this for as long as I can.
Finally.
So I know. I mean, it was funny because Mitch was always kind of like, Dawson, let's talk about sex. When are you going to do it? Don't forget your condom.
Yeah, he was
And
always
now
throwing his sex in his face.
oh, definitely. But now Mitch is having a lot less sex lately. So maybe he's like, all right, no one gets any. I don't get any. Dawson doesn't get any. he's
True.
he's in denial a little bit about Dawson's budding sexuality, but
Ugh.
Dawson is calling him out on it, which I mean, it's really fitting with Dawson's personality, but I cannot imagine any other child being so like flip about it with their parents. Like, Dad, you're
No.
just doing this because you're in denial that I'm growing up, and
Because you're in denial I'm a
eventually,
sexual being.
yeah, I'm a sexual being. And uh I feel like most kids would be like, I don't want to even go there with my dad or my mom.
Yeah.
But Dawson just does it. He goes for it. uh and Mitch is, following him, going back and forth, laying the ground rules, and gives him a little speech that basically goes, parent me, child you. And Dawson's like, okay, Dad, whatever. But they're bantering back and forth and walking through the house and back up to Dawson's room. And then when they get back to his room, he's kind of making it clear like how he feels, and is like, yeah, it's you're not going to be able to like do whatever you want with Joey whenever you want. And then he leaves the room, and who walks out of the closet but Joey? She just loves hanging with the clothes in the closet.
Yeah,
Uh,
ridiculous.
it's pretty funny. She pops out. They immediately start making out, and then Mitch
Naturally.
walks back in the scene and kicks Joey out.
You know what's interesting is this scene really reminded me of something that's in popular culture right now. It's this new movie that's coming out called Blockers. Have you seen a preview for this?
Blockers?
Blockers with a B, like cock blockers.
Oh no, I haven't.
Okay, it looks horrible. It's got a lot of famous people in it, but the only people I can name right now is John Cena. And he
The
is,
wrestler?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's prom night, and all these parents, their kids have been friends their whole life, so the parents are all friends now, and it's the prom night for the kids, and somehow they like can read their kids' text messages because they're popping up on the computer, and they realize that all their kids are planning on having sex that night, and they try to
Oh.
stop it.
Are they all planning on having sex together?
No.
Like a very alternative lifestyle way? Or no?
No, like with their dates. And it's like, it just, the extremes that these parents go to in this movie, it seems crazy. And I was watching it, and I was like, you don't need to let your kids grow up. And I kind of feel the same way towards Mitch. I mean, I don't think that ladder really belongs in the window. But if your son comes to you and says that he's interested in sex, you shouldn't just be like, no. You should be like, okay, let's have a serious conversation.
Yeah, and it seems like they want to do that. Like in the last episode, Mitch tried to give his hats and gloves speech.
Yeah.
Gail, yeah, Gail gave Joey that reproduction book.
Right.
And it doesn't seem in character because in the very beginning of this season, or the pilot even, I feel like they were already trying to talk to Dawson about sex and he had wanted nothing to do with it.
Right.
He didn't want to hear about it. So it's odd that now, I mean, maybe now that it's really a possibility, they're like, hold on, no sex.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate, yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, it was definitely fun to see Dawson goading Mitch. But then there was this really interesting shot where Mitch is talking about how Dawson shouldn't be having sex. And it's like Mitch on the couch, then Dawson in front of him, and then behind Dawson is Gail in the kitchen. And he's like, well, you know, Dad, you can't tell me that you weren't hooking up with girls when you were my age and sneaking around behind your parents' backs. And he was like, well, of course I was. That was the fun of it, was, you know, thinking that you might get caught. And I was like, oh, that's also the thrill of cheating. And, I mean, yeah, it kind of bothers me, like, Mitch's whole take on this open relationship thing, because he doesn't really seem to know what an open relationship is. I mean, I know it was the 90s and everything, but it just sounds like he is doing it for revenge rather than because he's interested in the lifestyle. Because I don't buy that he is.
Yeah. It was kind of interesting that Mitch, I mean, he kind of, like, doesn't take his own advice, because he's like, well, the fun is thinking you might get caught. Yeah. But then he says, well, Gail, we'll do it every Thursday. It's date night. We'll just be honest. But then it's like, well, you're taking away what makes it most exciting. You're not sneaking around. You're just going out on Thursday by yourself, sad, sitting in a bar.
But also, like, he said he had plans, which he's starting it with a lie. And if he wants to have, like, a real ethical open relationship, then you shouldn't be lying, you know?
Unless his plan was just to go to the bar and try to meet someone. That could have been his plan.
Yeah, but I feel like he deliberately made it sound like he had a date. And so did Gail. She lied right back to him. I mean, this is further on in the episode. But they're both still not being honest with each other, so there's still no honesty. It's just a different type of lie.
Yeah, but I remember, I think Mitch said something like the reason he wanted to try this was that so the trust that he lost wouldn't be an issue. He's like, this way I don't have to trust you at all. Which is like, like, that's just dooming your relationship.
Yeah, you still have to trust her. Like, is it going to be okay if she sleeps with your brother? No, like, you still need boundaries. And clearly Mitch is not comfortable with his wife sleeping with someone else. So that's the boundary for him. But he doesn't seem to be aware of that. Anyway, we can move on because this comes later.
We could revisit Mitch and Gail. I did enjoy seeing this finally come to fruition, though.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. So, in Joey's world, everything is in chaos. The health department is coming to the ice house. Somehow, it's Joey's problem, even though she's 15. Bessie's like, you better wipe down the counters and mop behind the fridge and take out the trash. And it's like, she has to go to school. It really bothers me, the way that Bessie treats Joey like a full-time employee adult who doesn't have an education to get.
Yeah, she forgot about first period.
Yeah.
Although I have to say, little baby Alexander, looked so cute in that scene.
Did he?
He kicked
I
off
didn't
his
even
little
know.
shoe.
I should have paid more attention. I didn't really look at him.
He was really cute. He had like one shoe on, one shoe off.
Yeah.
He was
I was
like kicking
distracted
around.
by Bessie.
Bessie was being kind of a bee. That's true. But her baby was real cute.
Well, that's good. Again, I will repeat. Where is Bodhi?
Bodhi is totally
gone.
this. I feel like we've just gone to Bessie as a single mom somehow.
Well, that's kind of what they're making it sound like, which I really take umbrage with. You know, I feel like they were just like,
that's a Dawson word.
But that's a Dawson word. I'm channeling Dawson right now. But I feel like the producers were just like, oh, we're gonna, be cool or like make ourselves seem ahead of the times and have like a black actor as a main role. It's like, no, he hasn't been in the show since like season 1, episode 5, and we're in season 2, episode 6, or no, 3, and it's just like kind of ridiculous. Like, he's supposed to be the husband of, or the boyfriend of this very kind of lead character. And he's just never around. It's not even that he just doesn't have lines. He's just not even in the scene.
And no one even mentions him anymore.
No one even talks
it's like he never existed. Also, Alexander is Snow White. Like,
he's so white?
It's like, he's so white.
I really didn't even look at the baby. That's ridiculous. I don't know why I didn't look at him. I don't know. I don't have.
You should go back and watch because. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a huge kid person, but the baby is just cute in that scene. He's a cute little baby.
Cute little white baby.
But yeah, I feel like Bodhi just like, it was like everyone took like one of their pills that they all must have like by the boatload where they can't remember anything about the past. Yeah. Bessie's like woke up, no Bodhi. Oh, I never had a Bodhi. I'm a single working mom.
Yeah, and she even describes herself as practically being a single mom. And I'm like, that's incredibly rude. Like, and also, did something happen in your relationship that we're just not aware of? Because that's what I'm assuming. But it's like, why are you a single mom now? That's big.
Like, fill us in. Yeah, I want to know. I want to know what Bodhi's up to.
Oh, it's very weird.
Oh, it's weird.
Yeah, so she's got a ton of chores anyway. And,
yeah, she's definitely going to be late.
She is. Oh, and meanwhile, we got Abby Morgan in the parking lot asking Jen what she thinks about this jock, what she thinks about that jock. And Jen's like, I only have eyes for the dirty dog. And Abby's like, girl, why? Well, why don't you just sleep with him then? And she's like, because I can't, because he's with Joey. And she's like, that virgin? You could get with him if you wanted to. And it's making me so angry. I'm like, girls, no. Joey and Jen are supposed to be friends. Jen shouldn't be going around trying to steal her boy. And she's the one who ended things with Dawson. This is what makes me really mad. She was too good for Dawson when she had 2 other guys chasing after her. Now that they're both out of the picture, all of a sudden she wants him back? No.
Yeah, Jen is confused. I feel like Abby Morgan she drives me nuts, but she's also annoying because she was like, Jen, I don't get why you have eyes for Dawson. Like, what's wrong with you? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, she's pushing him into his arms. It's like, what do you want? Do you want Jen to be with Dawson, or do you want Jen to be with a jock that's nothing like Dawson? Because you're acting both ways.
Yeah, I think she just wants drama.
Oh my god, she is a drama queen.
Yeah.
She likes to stir the pot.
Right.
I feel bad for Jen. I feel like she really just needed a friend, but she just got an Abby Morgan. She really didn't get a good friend.
See, I was kind of thinking that Abby Morgan seems like fun. Like, I would be friends with her. I mean, not really, but in some instances, she seems like fun. Like, more fun than, like, Dawson. I mean, she's right about that. Like, he's so serious. At least Abby can tell a good joke. You know, she's mean. Yes. She's too mean. But I don't feel bad for Jen. I'm really mad at Jen. I think she knows better, and she's really being a bad person in this whole episode, the past couple episodes. And I'm like, you know better, and it's not cool the way she's behaving. And it bothers me to see Michelle Williams play a character that I like so little.
I know, because I love Michelle Williams. That is kind of a struggle, because I'm hoping her character becomes, like, more interesting or more likable, or, I don't know, less, like, of a drag.
She's kind of
like, I really did feel bad for her, like, with her losing her grandfather, and she clearly was going through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's sad to see her revert back into who she wanted to be different from, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, to be so easily manipulated by someone else.
We'll get to it later, but the stuff she pulls with Dawson is ridiculous. Oh. It was cringing. I was like, girl.
It made me think about, like, is this how Paul Ryan feels? Like,
wait, what?
Because she's, like, just kind of, like, throwing all of her morals aside, and you can tell she's doing something that she clearly would rather not do. Like, it's clearly bothering her.
He has morals.
And humiliating her. I know, but, like, it's more like for her pride.
It's extremely humiliating.
It's so humiliating. And just like, ugh. This girl, stop.
Yeah, high school girl, stop. It's rough. I'm like, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. We're not there.
Yeah, we're jumping the gun a little, but yeah.
So, Andy seeks out some help. Her new favorite character, Andy.
I do love Andy.
From playful puppy Pacey.
Aw, little Pace.
Because she didn't take notes during.
She like forgot her backpack, so she couldn't read the assignment. Oops. This was like the total 90s. Like, you can't find it online.
Yeah, or like, I forgot my book. I can't tell you.
I can't do anything now.
Go back to the elementary school. Christine and I lived next to our elementary school, and I would always have to walk back to the school because I always forgot a book. And the janitor would always let me in.
Mary, I don't think I remember. I must have made you go by yourself.
I even know his name. It was Gene. I always forgot. I always forgot a book in my locker and had to go back for it.
That's so cute, Mary.
Yeah, people were more trusting back in the day because they'd let me in, no questions asked.
Well, you were a little girl.
God.
Probably like, she's safe.
True. I used that disguise well.
Aww. But Andy is not ready for class, and Pacey is also not ready for class, but he's not worried about it. He's like, just say pass.
I passed.
It's like,
I was like, is that something that people
and I'm passing barely. No one would say pass. You'd get yelled at. Can you imagine if someone said pass to the teacher?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like you can't pass.
But that when Andy passes in class, she says it like
she's so dejected. Like,
she's like, pass.
Well, she's embarrassed.
Like,
she's like,
what did you say? Yeah, but just say I don't remember. Don't say pass.
Yeah, no, it's weird. Yeah,
That's
he just jumps right to the
thing.
What's that?
I mean, she says it like it's a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Pacey gives her the thumbs up, too. He's like, that's what I taught you. Good job.
He's like, now you look as
bad
dumb
influence.
As me. Oh my God.
I know. Well, that one kid looked real smart. Explaining the difference between macro and microeconomics. Kenny,
Kenny? Whenever I think of Kenny, I think of like my forays going back into like online dating. And that's when you ask yourself, could I really date a man named Kenny? The answer is no. We're not there yet. I'm sorry to any of you listeners named Kenny. That's just a joke. But I did ask myself that question. Anyway.
Yeah. We appreciate you as a listener, but we might not be able to hook you up with Mary.
Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
how it is.
If you could go by Ken.
Yeah, Ken is probably good. I did have a Ken that tried to date me and it didn't happen, so.
I remember him. That was a no.
Yeah. Remember I told you about him?
Yeah.
Listeners, you're getting some insight in my personal life.
Listeners, maybe you'd have to go by Kenneth if you wanted to get with Christine.
Kenneth, I just think about the Page from 30 Rock.
Yeah, I know. Well, anyway, that's for a different podcast, right?
Yeah, we can put that on our boys' names / dating podcast.
/
the correlation between the
30
two.
Rock podcast.
/ Barbie. It'll be a very niche podcast.
So, they have this like really interesting assignment called Alternative Lifestyles, where
that's funny, yeah.
Yeah, where they get told how much money they're gonna make and what kind of relationship they'll be in, and what kind of job they'll have, and they get paired up. So of course the pairings are a total disaster, where Pacey and Andy are paired up. It's weird because Andy acts like she doesn't want to be paired with Pacey, but they're clearly friends at this point, so I don't really know why she reacts that way. Another time someone's
maybe because she knows. Yeah, although she does know he's not a good student. Maybe she does know he's not the best student, so maybe that's why.
Right.
But sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. I think my computer's glitching out a little bit, so I think that might be why.
Oh. Okay.
And then, of course, Abby Morgan is with Kenny because she, like me, does not appreciate Kenny's. Dawson, big dirty doggy D, he picks Jen, and she's like squirming with excitement. And Joey, she's going to be a single parent, just like her sister.
She's the odd woman out. Poor Joey.
I know. Oh, what a mess. Those pairings. It's so true, though. Those group projects were brutal.
I know. Joey's almost lucky. Like, she doesn't have to deal with anyone's nonsense.
It's so true.
Although it's not fair because she has to do... I'm sorry. I was just going to say she has to do twice as much work as everyone else. The teacher should, like, give her, like, some extra credit for that. It's not fair.
That's very true. That's very true. Oh.
What were you saying about your project, though?
Oh, I was just going to say, I got an assignment where I had to, like, start a business with some random people in high school. And I had to, like, research what it would be like to open a restaurant. And I remember, like, Googling the price of, like, what would it cost me to buy 50 sets of a table and chairs? Like, it was just, like, so weird. I remember we, like, pretended to buy everything on Overstock. I'm sure it was like the tackiest restaurant ever.
That is the entrepreneurial's first choice for restaurant furniture. Overstock.com.
They're like, it'll be, very cheap. I was like, okay. Because these prices are out of control. It was very much hilarious. Like how Pacey thinks everything is too expensive when he's looking to start a life with Andy.
Except for his Viper. Yeah.
True. So Abby could not be more thrilled that Jen has been paired up with D. She tells him she needs to grab him by the dipstick and make her proud.
Yep.
See, that's where I was like, she's fun. At least Abby's fun. I mean, a lot of the characters on the show are a drag, and at least she's fun. You know?
She is fun.
She has a sense of adventure, unlike some characters. Like Grams.
Oh, that's
I'm not Team Grams yet.
I've kind of been won over by her a bit.
I know you have.
I know,
Mary. I saw someone on Twitter like freaking out, excited that they took some quiz and were given Grams as their person, and I was like, what?
I don't think I'd want to be Grams.
Singing and prayer? Like, no. She's not. For me.
No, Abby is fun, but I don't know if I could be friends with her just because she's so mean. I just felt so bad for Kenny.
Yeah. I felt very bad for Kenny. I didn't like that.
I didn't either. I was like
he's a bully.
You can't be that rude.
No.
Yeah, she's a bee. She's the biggest bee of the episode.
Yeah. And she does tell Jen to bring back the old naughty Jen.
Oh yeah, she's a devil on her shoulder for sure.
Yeah, and the old naughty Jen does come back in full force.
Full force. Oh, it's so awkward.
It's so terrible. It's like I bet even Michelle Williams gets red when she thinks about how embarrassing it must have been to shoot these scenes. It's like that embarrassing that even though you didn't do it, you would still be embarrassed that you had to pretend to do it. Like, oh, it was awful.
Yeah, you're like just the act of acting that out as a character.
Yeah.
Can't live it down. Oh
Yeah.
my god, I know. I felt terrible.
Ugh.
But Abby really should be like in the beginning. Mitch called Dawson like a blooming lawyer because of his like skills at manipulating him.
Yes, yes.
And I was like, Abby really would be a good lawyer because she's pretty good at manipulating Jen.
Yeah,
I mean, Jen is
that's
in a
true.
vulnerable state, but like, she really gets her. I mean, she also manipulated all four of them in that detention episode, that Breakfast Club Redux. She
That's
got them all to
true.
like kiss each other and share their deepest, darkest secrets.
Well, yeah, I feel like she'd be almost a better like psychologist, you know, because she can get people to like admit things. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, if she used her powers for good. Yeah, it seems
If
like
only.
she's just good at reading people for sure,
Mm-hmm.
and getting to the bottom of what they want deep down.
Yeah, it's a sick power.
True. So Joey is telling her sister all about this assignment, how she has to be a single career woman, and how she's not going to be able to help out around the ice house. And Bessie's like, ask me. I'm a single career woman. Okay.
I know. It's like, Bodhi.
Okay. And Joey is basically like laughs in her face and is like, no offense, but I don't want to be like you when I grow up, and I'm not going to do this with your help. And I mean, that was kind of mean.
It was super mean. I know. Yeah. It was like, Bessie was so excited too. She wanted to help.
Yeah.
You know, she was being genuine, and Joey was just like, no, not interested. I did feel terrible for Bessie. It was like, oh.
Yeah, I felt bad for her.
Yeah, that was kind of a B move on Joey's part.
It was a bit, yeah.
Yeah. I know they're kind of annoyed with each other because Bessie made Joey do all that cleaning, but still.
True.
She doesn't deserve that.
Yeah, I mean, she does a lot for Joey at the same time.
Yeah.
It can't be easy. Yeah, and then Gail comes home from work. This guy gives her a ride home, and then he kisses her.
Mary, I know. That was like on the lips.
Is Capeside in Europe now? Like, what is he doing?
And this is pre-open relationship. I was like,
what?
And Mitch was right there.
Like, he did really go in for it. I was like, this is as big of a kiss as the reveal when you were cheating. Are you cheating again? Oh, no. It's just a ride home? Like, what? That was just...
I know. Weird. I was so confused by that. I was like, well, it sure looks like an affair.
If you're getting a ride home from a guy, is he even going to get out of the car when he drops you off?
Yeah, good
Like, why
point.
is he getting out of the car? Then why is he giving her a smooch? Bizarre. So bizarre.
I know. I was like, that's not normal.
No.
But it really set Mitch off.
Like, I don't think she's having another affair, but it was just bizarre.
No, I think it was, yeah, we're supposed to be like, oh, not a big deal. But it's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's like very strange.
But it's the same situation where Jen keeps kissing Dawson, and he doesn't say anything to Joey about it.
She does!
If your boyfriend kissed some girl 4 or 5 times and didn't tell you, you'd be like, what the heck? Like, you can't just go around kissing people. Like, it's very weird. But Dawson never mentions it. It's weird.
I know. Yeah, that goes back to when he didn't tell Jen. It took him a while to tell her about Joey.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not telling Joey about it. I mean, Joey obviously can tell that Jen is into him.
I shouldn't know that Jen's actively kissing him every episode.
No.
Like, she kisses him all the time.
That's a problem. Yeah, she does.
It's over
every
the
chance
line.
she gets. And she kisses him on the lips. She kisses him on the head. She like kisses him all over.
She's kissing machine.
It is funny too because now it is weird with her haircut. They look even more like twins. Like in all the shots of them,
yeah,
they look so. Yes, I was like, this is too freaky. Their little blonde heads next to each other. I'm like, you're like two peas in a pod. It's strange.
It's way too much.
It is.
Oh my god. And then, so Mitch sees this and he's like, right off the bat, he's pissed. He's like, there's no trust here. There's no honesty. I'm taking away the rules so I can take away my need to trust you. And I was like, Mitch, I mean, I'm not going to reiterate, but he doesn't know the first thing about what he's getting into. He's only going to wind up more hurt. And he's so jealous that she gets a ride home. Nothing's going to change, especially not if she's out sleeping with guys. She's like, I'm sleeping with other guys.
No, how?
And he's going to boil with rage. Like, he can't handle it.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like how could that ever help him? Never. Yeah, I think you're right. And Gail even said it too. She's like, if you need to sow your oats, if you need to get back at me, I understand. But it sounds like Mitch can't admit that or wishes that weren't true or something. But he thinks the open relationship will help with their honesty or their trust issues when clearly, I feel like the only way an open relationship would work, like in all sincerity, is if you have like the world's strongest trust in one another. It's just like, and like absolute zero jealousy.
Trust.
And they have the complete opposite. No trust, way over the roof jealousy. It's just not going to work.
No. It's like, Mitch, just because your buddy with an earring told you it was a good idea, that doesn't make it a good idea.
It might work for the fisherman.
That's a life lesson for all you listeners out there. Okay?
Mary, that was very, very helpful, actually. Yeah.
Thank you.
The listeners, thank you.
Okay, so we're finally at the point where Jen and Dawson are studying. And Jen is doing the most. And by the most, I don't mean the most studying. I mean she's doing the most, trying to seduce the D. It's crazy. She's like, we agree on everything. It's almost like we're already married. I mean, 20 years from now, could be us. And I was like, girl, no. No. It's bad. It is bad. She's like, we couldn't be more compatible. And then she like puts her head on his shoulder. Oh, it's too much.
Yeah.
She does this horrible
She's really laying it on thick.
I don't know if it's in this session or the session later, but she goes up behind him with her boobs and does like a reverse motorboat, where she's like motorboating the back of his head.
Yeah, I think that's the later one.
It's gross.
That's when she has nothing to lose.
But it's like, wow.
Bold move, Jen. After she kind of like flashed him, like leaned over right in front of him.
Oh my god. Well,
Dawson is so uncomfortable.
Yeah, he's squirming. And then she's like, Dawson, my door is always open, if you know what I mean. And he's like, I think so. It's pretty obvious that you want the D. We can all see it.
Yeah, he's like, I gotcha. Not interested.
You are not being very...
Yeah, it's just so painful.
Ugh.
Oh my god.
It's like Jen, how uninterested he is. Like, she's really not taking any of his signals. She's not accepting no means no. She's not. She's kind of harassing him, to be honest. I mean, especially in the last episode when she forced that kiss on him. Like, she's really behaving very badly.
She is, yeah. I mean, at least in the last episode, she was wasted on champagne.
Yeah.
This episode, she was stone cold sober. Had, like, a full study session to get his not interested vibe, and it didn't change anything. Yeah, it was pathetic. And Dawson is, like, where did the old Jen go? Like, he doesn't want New York Jen. I mean,
No.
she should have known when he freaked out that she wasn't a virgin, that he wouldn't
Yeah,
be into this
I
version of
mean,
Jen.
he's as innocent as I don't
Oh,
know, a
the
crucifix.
driven snow,
He's
yeah.
he can't deal with it. Like Jen should ask
No.
Grams how she seduced Grandpa, and that's what she should try on Dawson because I'm sure they have about the same mentality for sex appeal.
That's so funny. I think you're right though. They would work better than whatever sex kitten game she was trying to play.
Dawson is
It was not
way
working.
over his head. He can't handle that. He can't handle a woman like that. No.
No,
Yeah,
not
it's
at all.
embarrassing. And meanwhile,
Oh.
Andy and Pacey are also acting like grown-ups. They're looking at apartments. They've seen so many apartment buildings, apparently. The one they're in has a vermin problem. That's my worst
Oh my
nightmare
God.
in New York. You know.
Mary. Yeah.
It's,
Mary is
it's bad.
terrified of mice and rats, listeners.
It's true. I mean, I see them a lot now in New York, so I'm not as jumpy. But they're still pretty unpleasant, you know? I still don't like to see them.
Yeah. I prefer not to.
Exactly.
Definitely don't want them in my apartment.
No.
And that woman is just like chain smoking in there. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, great.
As unpleasant.
Also, yeah, who sells an apartment to like a pair of 16-year-old kids? Too?
Well, I know. I was thinking that too. I was like, okay, there are a lot of plot holes in this show. 16-year-olds don't get hotel rooms. 16-year-olds can't rent an apartment. So, like, it's just crazy. It doesn't make any sense.
Pretty ridiculous.
The adults, they're not paying attention at all in Capeside. You're an adult at 14 there.
Yeah.
But Pacey and Andy, they get in this huge blowout fight.
Right, yeah. Pacey accuses Andy of being a rich girl who doesn't know anything, who's spoiled. He thinks he has her all figured out, pretty much. And, you know, kind of says like, oh, you're never going to be, I think this is earlier, but she's like worried about her future. And he's like, Andy, you're rich. Rich people end up in Florida.
Not on the street, yeah.
Not on the street, yeah. I thought that was funny. But yeah, he just has her all pegged, but apparently he doesn't really know her at all, and that's what she tells him. I mean, he kind of spills his guts to her later about like his family situation and everything, but
she doesn't want to hear when he's calling her out. He's like, no matter what I do, my parents will never be proud of me. Even if I, won a Peace Prize, they would still think I'm a mess up. So I don't really have any reason to work hard. But for you, it's a game to pretend to be poor and to try to pretend to have to budget your money. And that's because you're a spoiled brat. And, I mean, it's really vicious. So Pacey really feels like the classist society of Capeside and is really ashamed about like his family, but it's really not fair the way he takes it out on Andy, obviously. And she storms off and she says, I don't know anything about you and you know less about me. She runs on out of there. Yeah. But one person who is enjoying their assignment is our girl Joey Potter.
Yeah, Joey is having a great time.
Yeah, some would say she's more inspirational than Harry Potter.
Oh my god. Yeah, she befriended a local stellar businesswoman who has like her own design company now. She's really making a name for herself. And she goes to her office, talks to her about the project, and the woman has her look at some architectural drawings for a new restaurant she's designing. And since Joey works at a restaurant, she takes a look and points out, I thought this was maybe a little unrealistic, like a pretty obvious flaw in the design. Like, if you'd ever designed a restaurant once before in your life, you'd probably realize you want to put the bar and the restaurant kitchen near each other just to make it easier on the workers. But Joey, like, says this great insight, and everyone is very impressed. But I was like, either this woman is not as good as she's letting on.
Well, no, I think that was a flaw that the woman had already found.
Oh, she was
In,
testing Joey, you think?
yeah, yes.
Oh, I like that reading better.
Yeah, I
That's
think
better.
she saw the plans, knew that this was wrong, because that's why she says, like, take a closer look. Isn't there something wrong with it?
She does
Yeah.
kind of lead her to that, yeah.
Yeah.
Although Joey was kind of like, looked at it and was like, it's good, like, real fast.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Joey.
Like, Joey.
Yeah, okay, but I like that better. Then she's
Yeah.
actually acting more like a mentor than
Yes.
uh, I don't know, like an important
Yeah, I mean,
businesswoman.
I don't think she really needs Joey's help, you know? I think she is, like, building up Joey's confidence, you know?
Oh, I like that a lot. I'm gonna go with that reading, Mary. That's
Yeah, I mean,
better.
I think that's what it is. But, yeah. But I'm happy to see Joey being inspired and also talking to someone who says, like, I never thought I was going to be anything. I didn't see my life turning out this way. And basically showing Joey that even if you aren't where you want to be on today, that doesn't mean that something incredible won't happen a year from now, 2 years from now, if you work hard. And I also like
Yeah,
too, like, she didn't say, like, I got lucky or I have always been naturally smart. She says, like, I work hard all the time and that's why I am where I am. And, she's instilling a good work ethic in Joey where if she applies herself, then she can, make something of her life.
yeah, and that's especially good for Joey to hear because we know her work ethic is incredibly high already.
Yeah.
Like she's got basically straight A's. She's helping her sister run the ice house. She's very dedicated. So I feel like she should take heart in that. Be like, well, if I work hard, good things will come.
Yeah, it's
So,
not for nothing. Don't give up.
right. Yeah, that's good. And Joey really did get energized by it.
She did,
Uh,
yeah.
Dawson even picked up on it, which is good.
Yeah.
But Bessie was not a huge fan of this woman because when Joey recommends that they change up their branding and like she could do a new sign and new menus, Bessie got all a little touchy because she's like, I don't need
Yeah.
this fancy businesswoman to help me. I'm the single woman making it on my own, on my terms. Which I really can't blame Bessie. I would be a little insulted too, but
I mean,
it
I
was
feel
just
like I'd be like, great marketing. Let's take it. I mean, be humble. If someone wants to help you, accept the help.
yeah.
I'm
I
sure
feel
the
like if
menus
it
are a mess.
was
They don't even mop under the fridge.
no, I know. I
You know
feel
what
like
I
if
mean?
it
Like, you
were
got
if it
some
were
care in the
raised,
place.
yeah. I feel like if she raised it, like before or like outside of the context of Joey going to this woman instead of her sister,
Right.
then Bessie would have been totally open. But since she was like, "Oh, this woman is so much better than you,"
Well,
she'd be
yeah.
like, "Well, I don't want her help." Yeah.
Yeah, of course not. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So Pacey stops by the ice house to talk to Jack. Well, he wants a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And he sees Jack, and he's like, "Oh, aren't you that girl Andy's brother?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, she's such a spoiled brat." And Jack's like, "What? Like, no, you've
Like
got
that's
it
my sister,
wrong."
dude.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Well, what do you mean? She drives around in a Prius?" No, I don't know what she drives.
A sob.
A
A sob.
Saab. She drives around in a Saab. And he's like, she's such a sob in her Saab. And he's like, just because we have a car doesn't mean that we're wealthy. Why do you think I'm here mopping the floors very incorrectly? And yeah, basically Pacey has a reality check that his first impression was not correct, and he rightfully feels a little guilty about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we get a peek into how the alternative lifestyle dates are going with Mitch and Gail. Mitch is just looking at hot women and not talking to any of them because he clearly doesn't know how to speak to women anymore.
He tries
And
and
he like
fails.
he looks, it like opens his mouth, but he can't get a word in. And also, if you're talking to a dude and you're like, "Oh, what's your story?" and he's like, "Well, my wife just cheated on me, so we're trying out this open relationship thing, and it's day one," I'd be like, "Red flag, red flag.
Oh my
Goodbye.
God, yeah.
I'm not talking to you." Like, he's probably even wearing his wedding ring, which I guess you would do, but it's like, you're not going to get far, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a rare woman who would be like, well, actually, no, I've heard that there are women who really get into married men. Although I feel like
Yeah.
if you're one of those, you probably don't want them to be an open relationship. You probably want to be sneaking around.
Right.
Like, what kind of
That's like
woman
one
is
time this
like,
guy was
yes.
hitting on me who was a divorce lawyer, and he was married. And I was like, you should know better. Like,
Oh.
you see people getting divorced all the time. You know why it happens.
Yeah.
And here you are doing
Right.
it. Like, it was ridiculous.
Oh, that's painful. That deserves a men's stop. Yeah.
That's a men's stop. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Gail, just as sad. She's not even at a bar.
Yeah.
She's at a coffee shop, sitting alone,
I
drinking
know.
a tea. She looks very pretty though.
She looked great. I know. I loved her. I loved her hair.
Yeah.
It's like, Gail, I'd talk to you.
Yeah, she looks fun.
She would definitely have it much better in an open relationship.
She would have much more success than Mitch.
She would.
Because she doesn't have a chip on her shoulder.
She's already kissing Frank,
fun.
the accountant.
She likes and she enjoys sex. Unlike Mitch, I feel like every time she touches Mitch, he cringes.
Oh, that's painful to watch too. I'm like, Mitch.
Yeah, Mitch, stop. So
Mitch, stop.
Yeah, but it's sad because she's not trying to hook up with people. Like Mitch is trying to hook up with people. She's just trying to not be in the house thinking about Mitch.
Yeah, I think she just needed to get out of the house.
Right.
Yeah. And then she seemed really depressed when they went to bed, She like turned away from him, said, "Oh, I'm hope you had fun," or "I'm glad you had fun."
Yeah.
But clearly that was sarcasm.
Right.
But yeah, their wild night was very tame. So I'm curious to see what happens next with this.
I mean, Dawson got more action than both of them because Jen showed up thirsty as all hell. She was looking for a big, dirty, doggy drink of Dawson. And she showed up in a really tight, low-cut dress that she borrowed from Abby Morgan, naturally.
Of course.
When she walks in, Joey and Dawson are hardcore making out. And Joey's like, "Nice dress." And she's like, "Thanks, I borrowed it." And she's like, "Yeah, I bet." And then she walks away, and I was like, "Girls, you used to be friends." It's too much for me. Remember you used to say you liked their friendship and you liked that they weren't competing? Well, here we are.
I know, it couldn't last. It was too good to be true. It was depressing. But I was glad that at least Joey called Jen out, because it was pretty aggressive for her to interrupt their makeout and show up in basically a negligee, just really don't try so hard. It's just embarrassing. It's Jen should know, the way you get a guy is not by
wait, hold on, I gotta get out. Hold on, I gotta get out my notebook and my pen. How do you get a guy? One more time.
Well, it's not by doing anything Jen did, Mary.
Okay.
You got that.
A big drink of water before you show up so you're not so thirsty.
Yeah. Make sure you're well hydrated. That's step one. You just have to play hard to get. It's it's not that hard. Or you just have to be real. I think that's the most important thing. Joey is always
real.
Her authentic self. You know what I mean? Jen is I actually don't really know if Jen knows who the real Jen is, because New York Jen seems kind of forced.
Right.
in the Capeside setting anyway. And it was
Yeah.
probably fueled by drugs and whatever else. Wholesome Jen was obviously not really true either because she had to work hard to act that way.
It, yeah.
So Jen is still a work in progress, I think.
True.
So I hope
True.
we get to know who she really is and she finds out so she gets some inner peace. And then maybe she'll get the Dawson. Maybe she'll get the D at that point when she can be authentic.
Maybe. Yeah, she shows up and she's like, basically that Cher Lloyd song, like, I want you back, I want you back, I want you back. She's like, all the things you're doing with Joey are things that we did first. I deserve you. It's way over the top. She's motorboating him from reverse, lounging on his bed with her cleavage out and her legs up in the air, with her shoes on. If anyone ever got into my bed with their shoes on, you're out the door. Goodbye. No! Trekking out of dirt. Get out.
You're not even allowed to walk in my house with your shoes on. Yeah.
Get out.
Leave them by the door.
Yeah. Yeah, and then she's like, oh, I'm so tired. Do you mind if I crash here? I don't even think I can see straight. It's like, Jen, oh, why? I can't even, I'm hiding right now behind my hands as I'm saying this. And then Dawson's like, I do mind. And she's like, what? Yeah. We're not friends anymore? We can't hang out anymore? Is this Joey putting thoughts in your head? And he's like, and I'm like, Jen, you're trying to gaslight Dawson right now. What are you doing?
Mary, I had that written down in my notebook too. I was Dawson is totally getting gaslighted by Jen. It's crazy.
She's acting like a horrible boy. She's really acting
Mary, you know what we should do?
Yeah.
Whenever men or a guy that you're talking to or someone you know is like, oh, I don't understand. Like, girls always complain about this, how I act, but I don't get it. All you have to do is show them this clip and be like, you would hate this. This is what we hate. It's the same. Put yourself in Dawson's shoes. Because you can't put yourself in a woman's shoes.
Put yourself in Dawson's shoes.
Yeah.
It's very uncomfortable, and it's way out of line. And then Dawson, I'm happy for in this episode anyway. He does not allow himself to be gaslit, and he says, "I'm not oblivious. It's is this what you normally wear to a study session?" And then she's like, "You just can't even handle being around me because whatever." And he's like, "Yeah, I can handle being around you. What I can't handle is you throwing yourself at me every other second." And then he's like, "Don't you find it humiliating?" Which, to be honest, is something I've wanted to say to a man on many an occasion. Don't you find this humiliating? How much I'm not into you? Yeah, it's rough. It's rough as 10 bears, as I like to say. It's very hard to watch. As 10 bears? Yeah, wouldn't that be rough?
I like that.
You had to fight.
That would be really rough.
That's what this is like.
Or very cuddly. Yeah.
No, it would be rough. It's rough as 10 bears. Oh my God.
Yeah, it is humiliating. I felt like that awful secondhand embarrassment. That's like my least favorite emotion or feeling or whatever.
So bad.
Ooh, I can't take it.
Yeah. Very.
And Jen, I mean, it was really painful to see her like go through that whole song and dance and then leave. And then as soon as she's out of Dawson's sight, just really collapse and be like, I regret this. I feel so upset with myself. You know, you could read it in her expression. It was just like, ugh.
Yikes.
It was not pretty.
Yeah, but even then, he's like, before she leaves, she's like, I know you're with Joey. I just don't respect it. I was like, what? What do you mean you don't respect it? What? You have to. It's not your choice. You're not part of that relationship.
Yeah, that was weird.
Wow. And then he's like, what happened to the old Jen? And then she kisses him again without his permission.
Yeah.
She's
that's not okay.
Him. No.
It's not okay.
High school girl, stop. Jen from New York, stop.
No, I know. Don't act that way.
Really crossing the line.
Oh my God. I wonder if he tells Joey. Like, I wonder what Joey would say.
He doesn't tell her. But that's the other thing. I'm like, Dawson, why are you not being honest with Joey about how crazy this has gotten with Jen?
Yeah, I mean, you should. It's your girlfriend. You should confide in her.
At this point, it's like, she needs to be told. You gotta stop. Oh my God. But good things are happening for Joey, even though her boyfriend is in this horrible situation. Because Bessie has finally realized, thank you, my lucky stars, that she's taking advantage of Joey and robbing her of her childhood by basically giving her a full-time job. And they have a very nice conversation, and Joey comes to more of a realization about what Bessie's life is like as an adult. And Bessie has more of a realization that, yeah, she's still a kid and she needs to focus on school. And they seem to reach an understanding, which is good.
Yeah, that was nice. It was cute the way they did it, too, because Bessie kind of comes home and Joey is waiting up for her because she got sent home. She couldn't help out the night before.
Right.
And Bessie's like, we have to talk. It's not working out at the ice house. You're fired, basically.
Right.
And Joey's like upset. She's like, oh, no, like, you can't fire me. I'm sorry, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bessie's like, no, it's because I want to be nice to you. Like, I don't want to make you work.
Yeah.
So that was sweet. And it was sweet, too, to see, like, Joey say that she does really respect her sister. And,
right.
They kind of mended their awkward fighting. That was sweet. No.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
So then we're back at school.
Yes.
And I was glad to see Kenny stand up for himself.
He was I know. Go Kenny.
Go Kenny. Abby, he was like, her name's on the report, but she did not do any of the work. Just putting that out there. So he's a snitch, but, I don't really blame him.
She threatened my life.
Yeah, she deserves it. And Andy is like, I'm only going to pass in part of my project.
Yeah.
It's all from the wife's
woman's
perspective. Yeah. And, but then Pacey rocks up late, and he's got both parts of it. And the teacher's like,
he shows up with that binder.
Yeah. He's like, oh, this is very comprehensive. Even though he hasn't looked in it. It's like, how do you know? It could just be blank pieces of paper with pictures of vipers on it. I mean, that's probably what it is, to be realistic.
That would be sad.
But also, if I was the teacher, I'd be like, so wait, did Andy do any of this one that you're handing in now? Or because she just handed in her own? Like, I'd be asking some more questions.
Right.
Anyway.
The teacher didn't seem worried about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pacey did kind of save the day.
The cute gay couple who's arguing about we didn't talk about the two
jocks. Yeah, I loved them.
Yeah, they were fighting about which honeymoon they were going to have, but it looked like it all worked out okay because they were very excited about their future plans.
I think they had the most alternative lifestyle of all the assignments.
They did. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, and Pacey apologizes to Andy for false impressions, so it seems like they're going to get a clean slate.
Yes. Although I'm curious because Andy, she didn't tell him anything about her life, so that's still up in the air. I'm curious to know more about her home life and her and Jack. And
I almost feel like it's got to be a lot like Joey's. Like, for some reason, I feel like their parents were drug dealers, or not drug dealers, but like white-collar criminals.
But what?
Like white-collar criminals.
Oh, could be.
Like, I feel like they did something, like fraud or something.
That would make sense if they don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, the way they're making it sound and the way that he was like, it's a failing dynasty. I don't know. It sounded criminal to me. I don't know why.
Yeah. I immediately went to, like, the old money family who just has their good name, but because of, like, bad investments or careless spending or whatever other reason, loses all their money. So all they have is the image of wealth, and now they're just poor. But I'm curious to learn more about what that looks like. But yeah, it was nice to see Andy and Pacey make up because I do love their banter. They have good chemistry with each other, and it's fun to watch them like flirt/fight together. Pacey had a really cute line when Andy was like trying to change the subject away from her family, asking about like, so what kind of apartment did we get?
Yeah.
And Pacey's like, well, it's actually just a 1-bedroom, not even a 2-bedroom. And then he says, but you know, the family that lays together stays together. And I was like, oh, Pacey.
Gross. Yeah, because they have 4 kids.
That would be pretty tight. That's real
It's not gonna
intimate.
work. Not gonna
No,
work.
that might be really awkward.
Oh my god.
But they're kind of like joking, skipping down the sidewalk. And then Mary, someone pulls up in her convertible and sees Pacey talking with Andy.
Guess
and
who's
it's
back.
Dun, dun, dun.
Back again.
Tamara.
Tamara's in the house.
Tamara is back.
Believe it. And
She's back,
jealous.
baby.
She looked jealous.
She looked like jealous, but also kind of like happy for Pacey, which I'm hoping is the way she acts, because I don't want her to be crazy.
Tamara's back, baby. I can't wait to watch what happens.
Me too.
Dying. Listeners, it's been 2 weeks since we've been with you. I have been wanting to watch the next episode so badly, but I have not cheated. I don't know what happens next. I still don't know who Dawson loses his V card to. Becca made it sound like it was going to be Jen. So far, it's still not Jen. But what's interesting, Becca, is you said nobody spoiled this for them. And then when I guessed it was Jen, you said it was. So I can't tell if you spoiled it or not. I don't know. I still don't know.
You're playing mind games with us.
You're tricking us all over the place. We don't.
But Mary,
yeah,
I think your theory could still be true.
it could. If they throw a party.
You said with the help of imported bubbly.
Yeah, if they're drunk.
If Dawson's drunk, all bets are off.
But then Jen is really being a predator.
Oh God, she's
Getting him
poison.
drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's bad. So
she's way worse than Tamara.
Oh, well, I don't know if I'd go that far. See, they're both bad.
We could do a poll maybe, depending on what
Jen
happens.
is like a mini Tamara. Like she might be Tamara in a couple years.
Oh dear. Was this what Tamara was like in high school?
It could be.
I hope not.
Well, anyway, listeners, this has been a great episode. I am dying to find out what happens next episode. Obviously, we have to get to our dares.
Yes, we do.
So last week, Christine gave me a bunch of crazy dares. One was like,
you're welcome.
You only knew the things I've done or the things I've talked to myself. I don't even know what it was. Obviously,
Into and out of.
Into and out of. Blow your mind. She also wanted me to say no hat, no glove, or no hat, no love. Now, I had an opportunity to say it today because I forgot my hat, and it was very cold and it was snowing. I didn't say it, but I could have. And I think, since I didn't wear a hat today, that I should get a quarter point because I enacted no hat.
That's quite a stretch. I feel like you should get a minus half point because you were foolish and left home without your hat.
Oh, come on.
And you could have gotten
You can't
sick.
be subtracting a point. That's really not fair. All right, well, did you do
I don't think you
dare?
get a plus or minus either way.
Okay, just
my
zero.
dare.
I can stay at 0.
I'm sorry?
I can stay at 0. Did you do your dare?
Well, no.
No.
My dare, and I had good ones this time. I had, God said, let there be light.
Easy.
And I probably could have said that pretty easily. I mean, it was nice because it's been so much lighter out when I leave work.
True.
I probably could have said it at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Deal, which I probably did say deal at some point, but I don't remember, so I don't think it counts.
You could have done that one easy.
That was too easy. I need to, listeners, one of my new resolutions is to program my dares in my phone so that I'm reminded. I might set a daily alarm, and the alarm will be the dare.
Wow.
So it's in my head. I'm committed.
Listeners, I
need to get better at it.
We know Christina's never said a dare in her life.
I said it once. Remember at Thanksgiving?
Yeah, extremely easy.
It was a Thanksgiving miracle.
Yes.
Let me hear say yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to give you some dares.
All right.
Okay.
Make it good.
Okay, here's one you can say. I will have sex, and there's nothing you can do to stop it.
Okay. I bet I could say that.
Oh, okay. Okay, you feel good about that one. Okay, or you
there's
can
nothing
say...
you can do to stop it. I'm going to put that on my phone.
Let me see. Wow, not too many great ones on this one. You could say, grab him by the dipstick and make me proud.
Haha, I don't think I'll say that, but I did have that one written down.
That's all I'm giving you. I'm just giving you those two sexy ones.
Oh. Grab him by the
Oh.
dipstick and make me proud. Mary, would you be so proud of me if I said that?
Yeah, I would. I'd be shocked.
I would be shocked also. All right, Mary.
Yes.
One quote I'm going to give you is something that Andy said to Pacey.
Okay.
Are you trying to win some Teen Rebel Award?
I don't know any teams.
I think you could say that. What?
Okay.
What?
I don't know any teams.
But they're trying to win a Teen Rebel Award. So
Yeah,
you could say it to an older person.
Yeah, I could.
And I'll give you one more. Let's see. I have... Should I give you a very easy one?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know why I wrote... Oh, yeah. I was trying to remember who said this. This is just what Abby Morgan said to Jen when she keeps trying to get her to take Dee's V card.
Yeah.
Just say, make it happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
she said, don't Abby me, make it happen. In her little Abby voice.
That works for me.
And listeners, I just want to apologize for missing last week, but I wasn't feeling so hot, and it's cold out. You know, we took a little hiatus for a week, but we're back, baby! Just like Tamara.
We're back like Tamara. Yeah, you should tweet that.
Oh, I like it! Thanks, Mary.
Try to find a picture of her rolling up in the convertible.
I'll have to search the gifts, yeah.
Yeah. Guess who's back? Wait, Dawson Cries.
Guess who's back. Love it, love it.
So, yeah.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter, listeners. At Wham.
Where Dawson Cries. WAH Dawson Cries. We love tweeting with people and interacting about Dawson Cries. We love the Dawson Creek community. About Dawson Cries. And yeah, we're happy to be back. We can't wait to watch. I can't wait to watch the next episode. So yeah, I hope you're all enjoying your January and are staying warm wherever you are. And enjoy Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday. And one quick shout out to Dawson Speak Pod for putting together that awesome Dawson's Creek 20th anniversary special compilation episode with us and a few of the other Dawson pods out there. That was so fun.
Yeah,
definitely check that out.
That's coming out on the 20th, right?
The 20th, yeah.
Great. Yeah,
Dawson
everyone should listen to that. We talk about our favorite Dawson Creek moments, what we've learned from Dawson, and why we love to hate it.
Yeah, absolutely check it out. And keep listening to us because we love interacting with you all.
Definitely.
But it's been a fun episode, and we'll catch you next week, listeners.
We'll catch you next week. Grab this week by the dipstick and make us proud.
Yes, Mary. Aw. Bye, listeners.
Bye.